everybody that has been interviewed in our team has kind of, hit the nail on the head over and over about, it's just time to work. It's time to do our thing instead of talking about it. This is the first media thing I've done, just because there's no need to be talking about it. It's just time to go do it. And right now it's, kind of moving in silence, which is fine with me. That's how I used to do it before getting on a bigger stage. So I'm happy to get back to those roots. And like I said earlier, get back to the fundamentals to where I can accomplish the goals when the season comes around.
Nate, I love this. This is what I wanted from Baker Mayfield all along. Don't talk about it. It's only going to bite you. If Kyle were here, he'd say, I hate this. I want him to talk. I want him to be who he is. Can Baker be Baker without that always showing that he has a chip on his shoulder factor?
Yeah, he can. He's going to have to adjust. We've all loved the energy that Baker Mayfield plays with, even some of the stuff that he does off the field, the trash talk, the bravado. But when you're not winning, it just doesn't come across the same. And more importantly, it's not sustainable. I mean, the only person that can keep that type of energy for their entire life, I guess, is Michael Jordan, because Mike is still as bitter as ever, and he can care less about what he says about individuals. But Michael Jordan also had success after success after success on and off the field. Until Baker Mayfield can prove to be a winner along with being brash, then that humble pie is going to be something he's going to have to eat year after year. And this isn't me knocking Baker Mayfield. I know Baker Mayfield, he understands how much I appreciate him and the Browns. But if you look at all of these individuals, it seems like collectively, they're all taking their own slice of that humble pie. It was Odell Beckham, who was running New York, literally the biggest thing in the NFL. He shipped off to Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, who was just putting up 100-yard catch season after season after season, he shipped out of Miami. And all of these different players, they ended up finding themselves and looking at each other in a locker room, and they all had to take a step back and say, all right, how can we approach this different and yield different results? And I think humility is part of that. And the reason that this hits home is because I've been there. I've done that. I've been the trash talking wide receiver that was doing the most. And then at the end of the game, all the cornerback had to do was point up to the scoreboard and say, Nate, okay, you had a touchdown and you had a few catches, but you guys lost. You're going to be home in January watching us in the playoffs. Like, how much are you going to trash talk? It doesn't make sense. So after a while, you have to realize, like, what's more important? Is it closing the curtains and working behind the scenes when nobody's looking and then letting your actions speak for you, or talking into every microphone somebody shoves in your face? I think Baker Mayfield is learning from his first couple of seasons.
I'm proud of Baker. Look, I think, Kay, you talked about it, and everybody has talked about Baker since he came in the league, this brash kid, and, does he need to mature? Does he need to grow up? You know what? He's just learning, and he's growing as a man, as a player. I'm proud of the way that he's handling this right now. He realized, look, it's not good when you have more commercials than W's, and that's what happened last year. So now he's saying, look, all right, let's put that to the side. This game is about winning, and it's about winning as a team, and it's about the culture, and we're going to grow that from the start of the offseason to the end of the season. And I think this is Baker becoming that leader that this Cleveland Browns offense and team desperately needs, because no doubt about it, they've got the talent. They went out and got Jedrick Wills, in the first round. They signed Jack Conklin in free agency. So they have fortified the front up front for Baker and protected him. Now he's got to deliver. So I'm proud of you, Baker. Keep it up. Tom Coughlin used to hand out shirts that said, talk is cheap, play the game. I think Baker might be handing out some T-shirts soon, or headbands.
The thing is with Baker, I don't blame him. Like, Baker got drafted first overall, and one of the reasons he was drafted first overall is because the Browns loved his swagger and loved his leadership. The NFL did its 100th year celebration. Could have chosen any player in the league to do a segment with Tom Brady for that commercial. They flew Baker Mayfield to Boston to do it with Tom Brady, putting him in that room at 23 years old, saying you're in that conversation for the NFL's 100th year. Like, we handed Baker Mayfield a lot of love and a lot of adulation, and the stuff he did in his first season, that Thursday night game when they beat the Jets, and we were ready to crown him and give. So we in the media and us in the league office who are green lighting, treating Baker Mayfield in the same breath as Tom Brady, are just to blame as Baker himself. I don't know many young individuals who would say, no, I don't want to be the face of Progressive Insurance, and I don't want to be paid X amount of dollars and have commercials on for 35 million people every week. And like, that's a hard thing to say no to. And I don't know many people who would out of the gates, especially with young marketing managers and everyone trying to build their brand. I don't blame Baker. So for me, I'm with Sean and I'm with Nate on this. I think for him in year 3 to say, okay, timeout, let's now just focus on the football is a major step. And I think Baker Mayfield's going to be greatly improved this season. And I think one of the main reasons is A, this humble approach, but B, Kevin Stefanski is a really well-respected quarterback coach / offensive coordinator and now head coach who is an intellect, but also has the pedigree and the resume to say, hey, here's what I've done in the league. Give me a listen. I can maybe help you. I think this is going to be a good year for Baker.